Mungu mapepo unadai nikanyaga mikokoto mie. Watu huko sana ni nomo la promo ni vile umeamua kunipea kisogo ya moto ati mena trash ni uongo mapepo unadai nikanyaga mikokoto kienda na mimi nadai ukanyage hiyo story ni oda keroma ile ndio na glow kuonyeshe ma actions hakuna mdogo if I can't get your heart then I guess nitaigoro ekutuma location boy kuba Apollo ukifika kwa gate bukula kwa konde for why we been over I'm wiser and older nasimi kukuboga wasini kuja sleep over I'm kuja sleep over
Surikindo binoma sleep over
I'm kuja sleep
Surikindo binoma
on a real one. Forget your polecan bridges, nearly ban. I miss your fine face, now when you ever what I want. You have me feeling special, well, I guess it's not my turn. Hey, I'm risky, really, you've been running on my mentor, man. Number on block, please unlock me, mommy, let's talk. So I'ma hit you with the less talk. Spoil you silly, I know you love it when you need choke. You will like all when these nights are getting colder. Siwezi kufocus, you must stress kwa baroda. Na jifunija na knowing when I'm getting colder. Skiza this oraka, make you as a conflict over, yeah. For a while we've been over, but I'm wiser and older. Nasini kukuboda, wasini kuja sleep over. I'm kuja sleep over.
Surikindo binoma
Sleep over. I'm kuja sleep over.
Surikindo binoma. Wagwan, my people, how are you doing? Karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary Show. My name is Katie, and this is the Black Hot Fire Network, media for the 21st century. In case you're there joining us for the first time, karibu sana. I hope you feel at home and also you feel comfortable to let me know. How is your Monday coming along? Happy new month, by the way. Happy Labor Day, and also happy Monday. How are you doing? Get to interact with me. Do let me know. How is your month getting started? How has the last month been for you? Or rather, how are you approaching this new month? Karibuni sana once again. My name is Katie. This is where we get to discuss everything that is happening in the beautiful continent of Africa. And do remember, most of the times, I do get to give you a disclaimer. We shall talk about a lot of things coming from the beautiful continent of Africa, but most of them are not beautiful as well. But anyway, karibuni sana. I see K Williams in the building. What's up to you too, K Williams? I see you're saying on Friday when those guys have approached you, what color was they? They were black. They were like me. Those people are like me. Yes, they are black people. It was that was a confusing moment. I just thought that guy needed directions, but I didn't understand what he was trying to mean anyway. But anyway, I was safe. That was an open place. He couldn't do anything stupid. But anyway, karibuni sana. Thank you for asking, and to everybody, just get to let me know how is your new month getting started. How is your Monday morning? And to all those who are listening to me via the radio station, do remember you can also get to interact with me. Do let me know how your day is coming along via the show page, via the live stream. I'll get to see your chats. But anyway, do let me know how are you feeling today. Do let me know how are you. What's up with you? K Williams, Mambo VP, how are you doing? But karibuni sana. On today's episode, we shall be talking about different matters. But one of the things I'd love us to focus about is about water. Now we've seen so many African leaders talking about the West and the West powers and the West people. And one of the things I've noticed is that now we have these African puppets condemning the white or rather the Europeans, and it is quite awkward because we know these people take rules from, or rather they take orders from these people. So I'm wondering what is it happening that these people now are beginning to condemn the Europeans. But anyway, we saw even on the video Joby shared, I had planned to share that video on my show, but it is okay. That video when Ruto was talking about the European powers, or rather the Western powers, taking advantage of the black people, or rather the Africans, and also putting them in buses, like they just realize how they are being carried. But this is not the first time they are realizing this. This is not the first day. You mean to tell me that these people have realized these people have been taking them and also carrying them like fools? It is not the first day, because you remember these people are always following those orders from the Western people. So it means that they have realized this. But anyway, we don't know what is the agenda, because it might be propaganda, because at the end of the day, we know these people are puppets. They are put there because they know these European powers knows that these people fit well in this seat. But anyway, that will be our main focus of the day. But also I have something else about the scramble of Africa's gas and minerals, and this is done by the Chinese, the Europeans, and right now we're seeing so many people trying to gain influence in Africa. So this means the Europeans at large, or rather the whites at large. But before that, I have a motivational quote of the day for you. But before that, let's get back to the music. I'll be back with my quote of the day. I hope you get to enjoy this amazing jama from Gugaki Lavuka. Amechuchatuka road trip. Ni machoki kwenye tambla ndani ya boxi. Amechuchatuka road trip. Amechuchatuka. Kuna dem nadai tu kusosi. Ghetto boy kageuka tu romantic. So akidai apewe. Stia tu baridi koti yangu inakuwa yake. Amechuchatuka road trip. Amechuchatuka road trip. Buddha boss. Ni kama ndai imegeuka tuka liquor store. Ni kama dress code ya washi ilikuwa booty shorts. Ni kama ngwai imetoka huko. My quote of the day says Mondays are the start of the week, or rather of the work week, which offers new beginnings 52 times a year. Mondays are the start of the work week, which offers new beginnings 52 2 times a year. Happy Monday and also happy Labor Day and also happy new month. By the way, today we have a lot of happiness because it is a new month, it is a holiday over here, and also it is a new week. Why are you not happy yourself? ICK Williams, you're telling me it is 8 a.m. right over there. I believe it is 8 or rather 7:56. It is not yet 8 a.m. But I see you're saying, okay, I thought they were Chinese. No, they were not Chinese. They were just African people. Nickname ya mrembo wangu Potential. Amechochatuka road trip. Amechochatuka road trip. Amechochatuka road trip. Leo livo tunazifunza tu lesson. Pesa kumwaga tumalize mpaka pension. Yuko kwa local na makaili na makendo. Wanapenda tu attention. Hapo hata exa kikumisa kutexta kushow na itumizi. Uko out of town kupatane maybe 2026. Amechochatuka road trip. Yes, welcome back. That is a good guy, and the jam is a road trip. I hope you did get to jam onto it. By the way, what is the weather? How is the weather on your side? Our side it is very cold. You can see my jacket. You can see I have a bonnet. What do you call this? Beanie. This is not actually a beanie. This is a Marvin. But anyway, I don't want to argue. It is whatever you call it. But anyway, karibuni sana. I told you today we shall be talking about scramble of Africa's gas and minerals, and also we shall be talking about now the African leaders responding to the West, because I've seen Kagame, I've seen Museveni, I've seen Ruto of Kenya, I've seen a lot of African presidents, by the way, talking about how these European powers have been it's like oppressing the Africans. But I saw Ruto today say, not actually today, it was during the weekend, he said, we are tired, you're not going to take us like children anymore. But I see K. Williams is saying, and this is why you don't have no time to report the news, all this partying you're doing. What do you mean, K. Williams? When am I partying? What do you mean? Oh my God. But anyway, it is okay. Whatever you mean, it is okay. When didn't I report the news? But anyway, away from that, I was talking about now the African the African leaders, these African puppets responding to the European, or rather to the West. And they've been telling them a lot of things. We've been seeing a lot of things circulating on the media, saying that President Ruto said this to the West, President Kagame said this to the West. And I feel like this is a lot of propaganda, because we know at the end of the day, these people have been, or rather they've been taking orders from these European powers. They've been controlled. They are being controlled by the European powers. So even if they come and tell us we're not going to be taking orders from these people, I feel like it is just propaganda and a lot of mouthing. But before we get now to that, let's get to this a scramble of for Africa's gas and critical minerals, and who gets to steal our gold, who gets to steal our minerals. Remember, there was this article, or rather there was this full documentary I had shared with you earlier, or rather a few days ago. It was talking about the gold mafias, and it was exposing people who are involved in gold smuggling and also money laundering. And we saw actually Africans, we play the biggest part, because there is no way these people would come here without our without our validation and start doing all these businesses. So let's get to see who benefit from this gas, from these minerals from Africa. This feels like a gold mafia, but it is not actually gold mafia. But let's get to watch this. Did I lose my video? What do you mean? I feel like I lost my video. Eh. Oh. Okay, it's like I lost that video, but anyway, it is okay. Let me just look it on my phone and then I'll have to share it again. But as we continue, we will you can keep on telling me, who do you think that benefit from this gold? Who do you think that keep on stealing this gold? And not only gold, these minerals, we have gases are coming from Africa. We have a lot of things coming from Africa. Who do you think that benefit from this? And I see a kid in the building. Karibu sana kid, you're saying it is a nice beanie and it is cold over here in Dallas, Texas. Thank you for the compliment. And it is also cold right here in Nairobi. I actually came to work when it was raining cats and dogs. But I see K. Williams is saying, you in the studio partying right now, dancing and trying to sing. That's what I mean. Oh, I have to dance, I have to keep warm. And for me to keep warm right here in the studio, I have to dance and sing and party. You know how we do it. But anyway, I'm trying to look for this video, and I don't know how I lost it because I have the link. Let me try and see if I find it. Okay, it's like they have erased it. I don't know why they keep on doing this. Why would they expose something and then delete it? I don't understand why they keep on doing this, because look at even my phone is saying it is not there. Like they are saying the file does not exist, and it was there. I actually shared it a long time ago. But anyway, hi Jiba Jaba, how are you doing? And I see you're saying hi Katie, 39 degrees Fahrenheit in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is cold and rainy, just like here in the 254. But yours is damn cold. That is very, very, very cold. But anyway, anyway, it is very cold at your place. But we were not talking about that. But Karibu Sana Jiba Jaba, how are you doing? How was your weekend? Get to interact with me. I was talking about now these people who get to benefit from our gold, and also these people who get to steal minerals from us. Whom do you think benefit from this? Okay, I don't know why, but why does the media keep on posting something and then when they see people are viewing it, they delete it? Why do they keep on doing that? I don't understand. You put it there for people to watch. Then when we start watching it, now you're like, no, you can't watch this. What is wrong? What is the problem with us watching and put it there for us to watch? I still don't understand. Okay, video, but it was here. Where? Okay, I think I have it. Let me share it real quick. Okay, let me put this disclaimer. Share my screen. Okay, here is my...
Hello, I'm on Al Jazeera. You look at the world of business and economics. This week, Europe has turned to Africa to replace looking at the continent's green potential to make the shift to. But can African countries fill the energy gap? Also this week, the US, China and Russia are racing political and economic influence on the continent, but at what cost?
My internet
African
is very
countries.
slow.
They're looking for alternative energy supply.
Okay, I'm trying to see where it starts from.
Increasingly turning to Africa to find alternatives.
It
The
was
continent has
last week we saw Europe actually signed a deal with this country in Africa to get gas from Africa. But do you think that these people are paying to get gas from Africa? Of course, no. Do you think that these people pay even taxes to get golds, minerals from Africa? Of course not. And it is crazy because at the end of the day, we as an African country, we end up losing everything because one, we are the owner of this gold. These people will come with their companies. Remember, we talked about Glencore again. I'm mentioning Glencore for I think 1,000 times right now. This is a company established by the Europeans. It comes to Africa, mine our minerals without paying taxes, exposing our people to dangerous, even working environment. But do they care about us? They don't even pay taxes. But who enables this? And this is why I felt like it is best to talk about now this scrabble of Africa and the minerals, and also link it to the African leaders in quote puppets, or rather African puppets in quote leaders, when now they are responding to the European powers. We've seen Kagame talking about them, and we've seen actually I have a video where I'll get to share this video where Kagame is asking the Europeans, what are you doing in Africa? You keep on complaining about the Chinese, but what are you yourself doing in Africa? It is a good question, but why is it that now he's questioning them that? And also we know that these people take like orders from these people, and also why is he like it's like he's defending the Chinese, and right now he doesn't want to work with the Europeans. But anyway, let's get to see about this mineral thing and also gas as we continue with our show for today.
vast natural gas reserves, but supplies only 6% of fossil fuel globally. African governments and businesses want to capitalize on the opportunity created by the war in Ukraine.
What do you mean capitalize? The African countries want to capitalize on businesses opportunities. Those are not businesses opportunities. If you want to capitalize with this, make sure you're getting 70% profit. But what do you mean capitalize in businesses like this with the Europeans? These people are just taking advantage of you, but you won't realize this because you're just puppets and signing deals without even consulting people.
But critics warn that millions of Africans lack electricity and supplies are much needed.
Yes, Kay Williams, keep encouraging them to hit the like button. Thank you.
At home, Uma Kulsum Sharif reports.
Since Russia invaded Ukraine last year, several European leaders have visited African countries. They're looking for alternative energy suppliers, and the continent has some of the world's deepest natural gas reserves. Analysts say
the continent has the best natural gas, but what are we getting in return of this? Because we must, if this is business, if I'm selling something to you, I have to benefit, and also you have to benefit. But in this side, or rather in this story, or rather in this business, it is Africans who has the resources, and these resources are supposed to make profit to them, but who end up getting the losses? It is the Africans who still have the resources, who still are the owners of the raw materials.
a lack of investment in energy infrastructure and security threats from armed groups have hampered development. But the war in Ukraine has presented an opportunity, one Algeria and Italy are already exploring.
si è immaginata, e l'altra ovviamente ha come
The
obiettivo.
aim is to increase energy exports from Algeria to Italy and potentially onto Europe, including finding solutions to increase the volume of gas transported, a new pipeline that would also transport hydrogen, a new electrical undersea cable, and increased production of liquefied natural gas.
Senegal too is stepping up, increasing its
Senegal too is stepping up. We have now Algeria, we have Senegal. But are we seeing these two countries benefiting from that? Because we need to see if we're signing business deals, these are business deals. And when I mean business deal, there's both parties need to benefit. But why is it now we, the Africans, who has the raw material, who has whatever you need, we are the one losing it? Why is it that? Because this is not a fair trade. It is not actually business. It means that now you're stealing from us in the name of doing business.
exports of LNG, liquefied natural gas, to Germany from 2.5 million tons this year to up to 10 million by 2030. It will be needed.
We want to be consumption making, and it's important that we have our Senegalese sitting.
Some believe Europe's pivot towards Africa could solve the continent's own supply problems. The International Energy Agency estimates
My
that
internet
about
is
600
very low.
million Africans don't have power, while 900 million have no access to clean fuels for cooking.
We often have trouble getting electricity, but we think that with this plant, this will change little by little.
Currently, African countries provide around 20% of Europe's gas, and the energy crisis
Of Europe's gas. But what do we get in return? Do we benefit from this? Because we have heard that Africa has the most natural gas you could ever want. Africa is the biggest supplier of gas to Europe. But do we benefit from this? We know we have not even one gas. We have so many gases to export. We have carbon. We mine carbon. Is it carbon dioxide? We mine from our forests and trees, and we have a lot of gases where we mine a lot of gases in Africa, and also we have these gases in Africa, and these are the most natural gas you could ever get. But we as Africans, we give you pure gas. You give us a lot of nonsense and a lot of rules. And we still continue obeying your rules. You know, it is crazy. And now we have the African puppets responding to these European powers, saying that no, we are not going to take your rules. We're not going to agree on whatever you say. These people are just puppets, propaganda, telling us lies every day. They just say whatever they know we want to hear. It is crazy.
is fueling hope that the continent increase its share. Kulsum Sharif, Al Jazeera, for Counting the Cost.
Joining us now from Johannesburg is NJ Ayok. He's the executive chairman at the African Energy Chamber. Good to have you with us, NJ. How much of an opportunity for African countries has the war in Ukraine provided in terms of energy supplies?
The war in Ukraine has actually drained African energy supplies because there's been massive demand for a lot of natural gas going into Europe, in a sense that natural gas could have been used to...
Right now, Europe has, there's a lot of demand of this natural gas. But we as Africans, I repeat, we're not opportunistic. Right now is the point, or rather it is the time we could be making billions and billions and billions. But we are dumb giving out our gases because these people, we've signed deals with them. But how do we benefit from these deals? Right now, Europe is yearning for our gas. Actually, it has gotten our gas. But how do we benefit from this? It is not only the gas, just like we saw even the gold. It is everywhere, every type of mineral. You know even gases are minerals. Every type of minerals. This is what gets to happen. These people, they always come here with an aim of, we want to do business, or it's like a narrative of, we want to do business with you. We want to become business partners with you. And at the end of the day, we as the Africans, we give in, and who ends up losing? We are the ones who lose. Honestly, We keep on losing because we're not opportunistic. These people right now, it is the time we could be making a lot of money from our gases, but who is not making money? Who is benefiting from our gases? The Europeans. Just because Africans, we don't know the worth of these gases. I feel like Africans sometimes, we don't know the worth of whatever we have in our countries. We have everything we need, but we don't know the worth of everything we have. We have natural gases. This is pure gas. We have minerals. We have from gold to every mineral you could name in this earth, or rather on this planet. We have it in Africa. But I feel like we don't know the worth of that. Because if we knew the worth of that, we could be making billions and billions of money. This money should be helping our country to grow. Infrastructure-wise, industrial-wise. Right now, we don't have industries in Africa, and this is why these people take advantage of us. They go, they manufacture, they come, steal the raw materials from Africa, go and manufacture whatever they manufacture there. They keep the good commodities for themselves. They bring the rejects to Africa, yet we were the producers of the raw materials. Just because we don't know the worth of whatever we have. I feel like Africans, we are asleep of knowing the worth of whatever we have. Imagine right now, if we could know the worth of the gas we're supplying to Europe for free, because this money, or rather, whatever these people are paying us, it's just peanuts. Peanuts, fake money. Maybe these people are just even signing fake invoices, but Africans, the damn puppets we have on those seats, they just think that we are benefiting from this. And actually, we're not even getting anything closer to whatever we give them. Africans, we need to realize what we have. The worth of whatever we have in our countries. Because we are worth than what we're giving to these Europeans. We need to realize the worth of, once you realize even your worth, you start becoming expensive. This is now what Africans we don't do. We don't realize the worth of whatever we have. And the moment we will be able to realize the worth of whatever we have, I think even our standards will rise, and we will tell the Europeans, we're not giving you this for free, or rather, we're not even giving you for this little cash you're giving to us. If you need this, we need a 70% profit from it. We would be making a lot. But anyway, let's continue with the video.
Have been exported or used with getting LNG across Africa to really power Africa, but Europe has been the biggest consumer of African natural gas. You've seen gas sales increase from Equatorial Guinea to Nigeria to Mozambique, actually shipping some of his first shipments from his floating LNGs into Europe and Algeria as well. So Europe has become Africa's biggest consumer of natural gas since the war in Ukraine started.
Africa has massive reserves, but does it have the capacity to ramp up supply?
It doesn't have the capacity to ramp up supply because there's been a massive in African natural gas. For a long time, African natural gas has been put on a back foot because there has been issues around climate concerns. There have been
There is nothing like that. They are coming to tell you about climate concerns, so that now you'd give them your gas for free. Huh? This is why they are coming to bring that nonsense to you. Actually, I saw this in Algeria. Was it in Algiers or Algeria? Where we saw now the Europeans, they are gaining gas from the Algeria. And these people, they have this, the nonsense of climate change. There's a climate what? Because they want to gain this gas for free. This is what they are doing. But they are coming with a narrative of, there's a climate change and it will affect your gases. No!
Of investment underinvestment around exploration for natural gas and even infrastructure development, like the Nigeria pipeline going through Morocco and Algeria had not been developed, and new pipelines going in from Nigeria through West Africa and Senegal, Mauritania had not been developed. A lot of gas fields that are being stranded and have not seen that investment. That has been the problem for Africa right now. And I think right now we need to start thinking about having a game changer and really ramp up financing for infrastructure development and gas development. And floating LNGs are seen as a fast-track solution for Africa.
Where's that investment going to come from? Given the massive potential for profit here, you'd think that people would be knocking the door down to invest in Africa right now.
Well, I think the biggest issue around where people will be looking at investing in Africa around natural gas, you've seen massive gas reserves being found in Namibia, in Mozambique. Nigeria still has great...
Natural gases are everywhere, my brother, everywhere in Africa. Even the smallest forest we have, they produce a lot of gases, a lot of natural gases. But we don't know the worth of all these gases. We just assume they are just gases. They are just like the air we breathe. We just assume. And this is why we end up giving them for free. We don't know the worth of this. Right now, we are suffering even of cooking gas. Yet, we have gases in Africa. We have gases that are worth helping us in any way. In every way. But anyway, let's continue with this video. I don't want to share the whole of it because I have other videos to share.
Potential with the Petroleum Industry Act that has been passed right now. They need to really see that financing, but we also have to take into consideration some of the strangleholds of financing. But Africans have to also do a part. They have to cut red tape, create an enabling environment, and really do deals faster. Sign new deals. But
sign new deals with the African, with the puppets, with the Europeans. This man also is a good.
Also, in a sense where it shouldn't take too long to approve a project and the time is needed to drive to build a project. And we need to look as Africans, we need to start thinking about how
the problem with African people, they just speak for the sake of speaking. This man is speaking for the sake of speaking. He's telling people, sign more deals. Don't take long to sign deals. Make sure you sign deals. Keep on signing them with the Europeans. Create an enabling environment with the Europeans. How is that? How do you create an enabling environment with the Europeans? These people, one, they don't even create an enabling environment with you because they don't want to become your trade partners. They come in the name of being trade partners with you, but they don't come here to be trade partners with you. They don't create that enabling environment with you. But you as African people, you're dumb. You want to create an enabling environment with them. No.
Address issues around resource nationalism. It doesn't work. And when we do those things, investment will flow in even during these difficult moments.
Critics, though, NJ, say that Africa needs to fix its internal supply problems first before it exports its resources.
Exactly. We need to first work on our internal supply. How are you going to supply to Europeans while your country is a total mess? While your country really needs this, whatever you're supplying to the Europeans. This is now where we fail. It is where we fail because we don't even work on the grounds first. We just focus on taking this to the Europeans just because the Europeans told you they'll give you these dollars. And you don't know that you're even selling it at a loss because that is a loss.
To other countries. I mean, how do African governments strike a balance?
There is a balance that can be done here. 600 million Africans don't have access to electricity. 900 million have no access to clean cooking technologies, most of them women. The continent is still seeing massive underdevelopment and industrialization. So that natural gas is needed. We can strike that healthy balance to really deliver gas to our European partners, and also at the same time be able to drive not just gas to power projects, but also petrochemicals and all of that. But it all gets linked up towards investment.
Petrochemicals, well, we have gas problems in Africa, where we have homes still using firewood and charcoal to cook. We have even families using feces to cook.
But also the climate, the polarization that we're seeing around the world when it comes to gas, it's really hurting Africa the most, because gas is being polarized. At the same time, the same European countries have declared gas green, and gas is green for Europe, but not green for Africa. And we need to be very careful about it. Even coal, that they're telling us to abandon coal, they are using coal to power Europe right now, while in South Africa today, they're going 8 to 10 hours with no electricity and blackouts per day. So we need to find that balance, and we need to curb down on the polarization that we see. And some of the politicians need to watch their language.
Anyway, my people, I just have to cut the video from there because I want her to share some other videos, and the time is really going fast. I can't imagine we are only left with 20 minutes. But anyway, let's get to analyze that. Okay, we're talking about gas. Right now, we're not even only talking about gases. Let's talk about minerals. Let's talk about gases. Let's talk about even the oil we have in Africa, right? Those are like minerals. All of them, we can classify them as minerals. Imagine, let's even do mathematics. Imagine from oil, we know we are rich in petroleum, a country like Nigeria. Right now, Nigeria is supposed to be the richest country in Africa, but what is happening to Nigeria? They're not taking advantage of the oil, petroleum they have in the country. Imagine this country, if they were exporting maybe even 50% of the oil they have, okay? This is the 50%. And then they leave the 50% for their country. Let's not even talk about the 50%. Let's even say 30%. They export 30% of the oil they have in the country. And then they leave the 70% for themselves. And on this 30%, they are making like a profit of 60%. What is hindering that country to grow? What is hindering the country to grow? You know, it doesn't make sense in even those people who we call financial managers in Africa. These people, like, they are not even finance literate. They are not, because you would do simple mathematics. You're mining maybe 10 liters of oil. Just sell 3 and make sure you're getting 60% profits from that 3 liters of oil. What is hindering your country from growing? You left the 7 liters for your country. You just sold 3. Even still 1 liter. Leave the 2 for the people. What? Man, Africa and these puppets, we need to wipe them. But anyway, let's now get on the puppet side. This is the African leaders versus the West. And I've seen so many African leaders, or rather so many African puppets, coming and talking about these Europeans, how they have been to us, these Europeans, how they are evil to us, you know, and it is a lot of nonsense they've been talking about. But let me share these videos so that we can get now to talk about them. Because I feel like these people, they are always spreading propaganda, just full of propaganda. Every information they are giving out here, it is propaganda, because we know, one, these people, they are racist. We know that. Sorry about that. We know this. We know these people are very racist. We know these people don't love us. But now these African puppets, they are coming to tell us these people have been treating us like this, like this, like this. And they still take rules from them. They still take, they are still controlled by them. But anyway, let's get to watch this video real quick, and then we will be back with more clarification of it.
Lumumba, those who toppled Kwame Nkrumah, those who killed Nasser, those who killed Muammar Gaddafi, today are coming to teach us about democracy.
Welcome to Candid Africa, truthful and energetic.
At the end of the month, there will be a conference in Lusaka, or a summit in Lusaka, Zambia, my country, led by the United States. They have come to Southern Africa to teach us democracy. A country that was opposed to our liberation, a country that supported colonial regimes, the apartheid regime in South Africa, the white racist minority regime in Zimbabwe, now Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, the Portuguese colonial governments in Mozambique, in Angola, in Guinea-Bissau, and Cape Verde, today is coming to Africa to teach us about democracy. A country that has toppled so many governments in Africa, that has led so many coups in Africa and other parts of the world, a country that has killed so many of our leaders in Africa and other parts of the world, the killers of Patrice Lumumba, those who toppled Kwame Nkrumah, those who killed Nasser, those who killed Muammar Gaddafi, today are coming to teach us about democracy. A country that has been built on brutal force, on enslavement of other human beings, on the humiliation of Africans, the exploitation of Africans, the plunder of Africa, today is coming to teach us about democracy. That's the arrogance, the imperialist arrogance, the racist arrogance that we are subjected to. We cannot have democracy where there is hegemony of the strongest, mightiest imperialist power. We cannot have democracy where a country's resources, a country's decisions are dictated to by another country. A country that is dominated by another country cannot be democratic. A country that lacks sovereignty cannot be democratic. A people that cannot decide for themselves cannot be democratic.
Exactly. People that cannot decide for themselves, they can't say they are democratic. And this is what is happening in African countries with Africans. We cannot decide for our own selves, but we still continue saying that we're democratic countries. How are we democratic though?
A colony, a neo-colony can be democratic. That's why today, even at the United Nations, membership is on the basis of sovereignty. Only sovereign nations can be members of the United Nations, because only sovereign nations can decide for themselves. A colony cannot be a member of the United Nations. It's not by accident. It's not a mistake. If you have no respect for the dignity of others, if you have no respect for the sovereignty of other countries, you cannot claim to be a champion of democracy.
Let us know if you liked or hated what you heard in the comments below in this show.
That is the video I wanted to show you. But before we get to analyze it, there's also this one from Kagame.
About Russia and about, you know, you hear people complain about.
Okay, let me expand my screen. There's this one about Kagame also.
China, then about Russia, then about complain about China, then about Russia, then about. But how about them?
Now he's referring to the Europeans. They keep on complaining that the China, the Russia, the Ukraine are coming to invade Africa. But he is asking, how about you? Why are you in Africa?
What right do they have to be in Africa that others don't have?
Welcome to Candid Africa, truthful and unapologetic.
Oh, Russia. I think that's why I was forgetting it. It's another problem that we don't need to have. Russia or any other big power should not be our problem. The issue is these big powers have their own issues to sort out, and then they keep sucking in these small countries of ours. So Russia has the right to be anywhere they need to be.
What
Legally.
is he saying in simpler terms? You know, it would look like Kagame is fighting the Europeans. But what is he saying? Are you getting what he is trying to mean? That Russia has every right to be in Africa, just like the other European powers have rights to be in Africa. Also, Russia has every right to be in Africa. But Africans would think that Kagame is trying to fight the West and asking them, why are they in Africa?
As any other country has a right to be anywhere, meaning those who come to Africa, you know, you hear people complain about China, then about Russia, then about, but how about them? What right do they have to be in Africa that others don't have?
Mm-hmm.
So
now he's talking about now how the Europeans are fighting for influence in Africa. But also there's this video Joby shared with you. It is about now the president of Kenya saying that these people keep on carrying us like children. You know, we're done taking orders from you. Let me get it right. And he keeps on complaining about how the Europeans are treating Africans. But do we ask ourselves, who has given these people the power to be here? It is us. These people we are calling leaders, we're calling presidents. These are the same people. If you hear them talking about now, like Kagame, he has asked the Europeans, why do you think that you have to be you have a right to be in Africa and Russia doesn't have? Like, he's simply telling them, you have Russia has every right to be in Africa, just like you have. And he's actually welcoming the Russians. And when the Russians will see this, they will be very happy with Kagame. And the first country they will come to invade will be Rwanda. But Africans would think that now Kagame is trying to fight the Europeans. No, he's not. He's trying to welcome them in your countries. And okay, I was trying to get this one right of the Kenyan president. Actually, there's this video. I don't know if I shared this video with you. Let me find it real quick. Of the West targeting now the Kenyan president, because I don't know what Ruto said, and it brought a controversy, and now Ruto had to talk about these people carrying us as children, these people taking advantage of us. Let me find this video real quick for you so that I get to share it with you as we're getting closer to winding up with our show for today. Let me find this one. Okay. I think I have it. Let me share my screen.
Western meddling has now gone past West countries, and it has now trickled down to international organizations like the United Nations.
Okay, my internet is bad.
Maybe it existed, but now, thanks to leaked documents, we know that the Deputy Secretary General of the United States, Ambassador Amina Jane Mohammed, sent letters and emails to his boss, Antonio Guterres, saying that she does not trust the Kenyan leader, William, and she doesn't find...
Wait. This woman was once a Kenyan cabinet secretary.
Western meddling has now gone...
Now she's the one sending letters to Antonio Guterres saying how she doesn't trust the Kenyan president, William Ruto.
Past Western countries, and it has now trickled down to international organizations like the United Nations. Maybe it existed and we never knew about it, but now, thanks to leaked documents, we know that the Deputy Secretary General of the United States, Ambassador Amina Jane Mohammed, sent letters and emails to his boss, Antonio Guterres, saying that she does not trust the Kenyan leader, William Ruto, and she doesn't find him trustworthy, but rather a very brutal person that cannot be trusted. If this is not meddling of the highest order, I don't know what is. Hi guys, how are you doing? Thank you so much for making time to catch up with one of our chat videos. My name is Zintiro Oganga. I am a business journalist by profession, but I'm also a digital content creator, and I make content on diaspora relocation back to the continent. So if that is something you're interested in, head over to my channel at Zintiro Oganga. I am also on social media. You can connect with me and the UN Secretary. Classified documents had been leaked on the internet, and part of that on social media, you can connect with me at Ondiro Oganga. Now, this week, or rather, watching this video, news came out that certain classified documents had been leaked on the internet, and part of that leak was some of the information that was traded between the UN Deputy Secretary General and the UN Secretary General. Now, Kenya recently went to the election last year, August. We went to our elections to elect the president and other leaders in the country, including governors, senators, members of parliament, and different representatives. And it was a hotly contested election. The former president, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, had preferred to vouch for the former opposition leader or the opposition leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, as opposed to backing his deputy of the time, William Ruto. And this brought forth a very spirited campaign where it was dynasties against non-dynasties. So for those who don't know, the Kenyan president, Uhuru Kenyatta, is the son of the founding president of the country, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, and Raila Odinga, who was the opposition leader being backed by Uhuru Kenyatta, is the son of one of the freedom fighters of Kenya and a former vice president.
Lol, freedom fighters.
Jaramogi Odinga. So the Ruto administration, who was the vice president to Uhuru Kenyatta, ran a campaign saying it's time that Kenya is liberated from dynasties, meaning that people whose fathers had been in power and passed over the leadership baton to them does not make them good leaders, and they shouldn't continue being in office, and it's time we try different leadership. People who came up from nowhere and nothing and have become reputable or have grown into leaders, depending on how you perceive reputable to be. Now, after a very spirited campaign season, William Ruto emerged as the winner of the election, and he was sworn in, and he's been in office for technically 6 months now. The issue becomes that if you look at everything that's happening with the international community, it's more like they were favoring one candidate over the other, and international meddling into Kenyan politics is nothing new. Every time Kenya goes to election, the international community almost tries to have a say in who will put in office.
It is not only in Kenya, it is, I guess, everywhere in Africa. It is now, every time Africa, or rather every time there's an African country going into election, you definitely know it is now the West trying to put their new puppet in place.
It was done indirectly, obviously not directly by saying shady things like choices have consequences. But we've also immediately Kenya put somebody in office. The international community quickly adapts around them and starts doing business with them, and it's all good in La La Land. For example, in 2013, when we put Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto into office, they had cases at the International Criminal Court that they had to answer. And the Western world kept saying choices have consequences, choices have consequences. And when they won the election, we saw the Western world working with them. So we've never seen meddling beyond just trying to influence the results of the election through lip service. So that's at least what we know publicly. But now we are seeing that the meddling is going beyond the countries and into international organizations. In the leaked memo, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations sends messages to the Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, saying she perceives and considers Kenya's President William Ruto as ruthless and untrustworthy. This can come from probably the cases that he had to answer.
Okay, he might be, he is a ruthless, he is untrustworthy. But do you think that this war it has something to do with all that? Because these Europeans are the ones who put Ruto in power. It is something else.
Because he was accused of some of the atrocious acts that happened against some of the civilians. People were killed, people were maimed, people were burned alive, families were separated, land was grabbed, and the cases were one way or the other. The cases were dismissed. It doesn't prove innocence, neither does it prove guilt, but the cases were dismissed, right? But it looks like people have not forgotten that part of history. And I also think that the untrustworthy part is because, one, Ruto is a politician, and two, he has adopted this persona of being a godly man, and everything about him surrounds spirituality and God and the church.
But the persona of being a godly man, you know, it is actually funny. But anyway, I don't want to share this video any longer. What I was trying to say is that now we have the West right now. They are fighting with these African leaders very hard. We've seen Kagame talking about them. We've seen we've seen even the Kenyan president. There's this video Joby shared on her show. It was President Ruto talking about these European powers, and I feel like now there's a war between the European powers with these African leaders. If you find out there's something that is going on between them, there's a rivalry that is there between Ruto and these European powers. I don't know what it is, because one, we've seen Ruto coming openly and saying that we are done being carried like children. We are done taking orders from you. We are done taking orders from you. You know, this feels like there's something. And also having now the vice chair of the UN coming and saying that Ruto is untrustworthy, and also he is ruthless. There's some rivalry between these two parties, because one, we are very sure that Ruto was put there by them. It was them. Why is it now they are coming to fight after the elections, after they put him in power? Or rather, maybe there's something that he was told to do and he said no. We don't know what the rivalry is all about, but I've seen so many African leaders, by the way, not African leaders, these African puppets, like Kagame, for example, and also we have Museveni, we have Ruto, coming and saying that we are tired of taking your rules. But this is just propaganda anyway, because if they are tired, they would have told them, pack your things and go. We have the British, what do we call them? We have we have the British still in our country. We have diplomats. I mean, we have the British diplomats in our country. We have the CIA. They are still working here. What do you mean you're done taking order from them? It's because you're just there yapping. But anyway, let me go through the comments before we come to the end of our show for today. But you can keep on giving your thoughts on the same, because I feel like now this is a rivalry between these two powers, and I don't know what has caused the rival, because we know it was the Europeans who put the president on that seat. Maybe it's just propaganda, but at the end of the day, there's something that is happening. But I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying capitalizer means steal. Yes, it means to steal. And I see K. Williams, you're saying those African leaders are the most dumbest people ever. Very true. Jiba Jaba, I see you're saying it's not profitable to ship LNG. So how will a pipeline run through countries that can't get along, creating more war and instability? Very true. There's no way pipelines can pass where there's a lot of war. There's a lot of instability, and these pipelines might end up even being attacked and also might start leaking. I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying keep your resources. Yes, we need to keep our resources. We don't need to sell them to them. And I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying you get old football jerseys and football jerseys and bootleg phones. And I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying you nailed it, Katie. Play hardball. Yes. And I see Kid, you're saying you 100% have the wealth of the world in Africa, not billions, Katie, trillions of dollars. Very true, Kid. And also I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying transporting gas by ship is a loss. You can't move enough to be profitable. Yes, we need pipelines for transportation of gas, but where now? How are we doing this? But I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying coal is very clean, burning and cheap. I use it. Coal is very clean. I do believe that, but it has that soot. It produces a lot of soot. It's not efficient for you to use it in the house. But anyway, you're saying hard coal, that is, and Kid, you're saying exactly 100%, Katie. And I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying white God. And you're also saying because he's making deals with the rival team, Russia. Probably this is the deal. Probably he's even making deals with the Chinese. This is why now they feel like he's a ruthless, he's a traitor, and they are all European powers, I beg. They are all Europeans. So I don't see why they are getting angry. And I'd ask even like Kagame asked. You know, Kagame asked a very stupid question, but at the end of the day, what gives them the right to feel like they are the only ones who are welcome in Africa? But anyway, we are coming to the end of our show for today. I didn't say that they are welcome to Africa. They need to pack their bags and leave. Yes, I said that was a stupid question from Kagame, or rather Kagame asked, because now European should feel entitled to coming to Africa. But we are coming to the end of our show for today. Asanteni tena sana for being with us on today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed the conversation, the videos, and also the interactions. To all those who kept it interactive, Jiba Jaba, Kid, K. Williams, and to the rest of the silent listeners, asanteni sana. Hope to see you next time, or rather hope to see you on the next episode of the Rhythm Scoop Show. Much love, peace, and make sure you enjoy the rest part of your day. Kwaherini. Hope to see you later. Jerome Mosquito, you came in too late, but you're gonna watch a replay of this. Peace to you too. I am fine. I hope you're well too. I see Jiba Jaba, you're telling me to stay warm. Of course, I am warm. Thank you very much. I'll stay warm. I'll drink a lot of warm stuff. But I have my jacket, I have my bonnet, and I have my gloves as well. So I'll stay warm. But anyway, enjoy the rest part of the day. In case your place is cold like ours, please also make sure you stay warm.
Buda amechocha tuka road trip, ni majoki kwenye tamba ndani ya buti. Buda amechocha tuka road trip, Buda amechoka tunako. Kuna dem nadai tukusosi, ghetto boy kageuka tu romantic. So akidai apewe, kistia tu baridi, koti yangu inakuwa yake. Buda amechocha tuka road trip.